Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us. You guys are the real MVP. I came across this video made for you, and I thought to share with you guys where this man-colored woman is being, calling out people that looks like me, and actually accusing them of, supporting what was going on over there in Paul and all of that. Just got people reacting, and trust people that looks like me responded because she tried to make up some stories that was not even adding up. I'm just going to read it. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
This is the type of WW that black people need to stay far away from. When black people say that WWs are dangerous to black people, this is the type of WW that we're talking about. This WW has been in controversy before. She's not new to this. She's true to this. And I knew when she said this, that it was going to be open season for black people on this app.
Did you guys know that the Democratic Party is paying people on TikTok thousands and thousands of dollars to make videos talking about how awesome the Democratic Party is? I know, because they've offered me nearly $15,000 to do just that, to try to take attention away from that whole genocide thing.
When I saw that, I knew that I needed to armor up and charge up my block button, because I knew those who follow her will make their way over to my comment section to ask me if I'm taking money from the Democrat Party. I'm not saying that she's racist and anti-black. I'm saying that in some of her videos, she spews racism and anti-blackness. And those who follow her and are down in the comment section agreeing with her, they agree with and are okay with and stand by racism and anti-blackness. And most people who are racist and anti-black, they don't think that black people choose their candidates based on issues and policies. They think that black people are intellectually inferior to them. They think black people are dumb. They think black people only choose political candidates because that political candidate is black. They don't think that black people actually research the candidates. They don't think that black people will take the time to go out and meet directly with these candidates and ask these candidates hard-hitting and direct questions. Nope, they think black people vote for black candidates simply because they're black. I also believe that WPs who are racist and anti-black look at me and automatically assume that I am a Democrat. And because I knew all of that, it was only going to be a quick matter of time before WPs who are racist and anti-black will make their way into the comment sections of content creators who look like me to ask the question, are you being paid by the Democrat Party? With her opening generalized statement, she has effectively put a target on the backs of content creators like myself and content creators that look like me. With that one generalized opening statement, she has attempted to invalidate the facts that we provide. She has attempted to invalidate the receipts that we provide. Yeah, you can't believe what it is that we're saying because we're being paid by the Democrat Party. And then she uses herself, the good WW, as to proof that this is happening. And then when she provides receipts, She's not being paid by the Democratic Party. She's being paid by a PAC. But they won't care about that. No, the people that she has weaponized, they won't care about that. They won't even stop to think, well, girl, we could say the same thing about you. You come in and talk against the Democratic Party. Who's paying you to do that? Nope. The good WW couldn't be the one that's deceiving you. It's us who would be trying to deceive you. And it didn't take long for her soldiers to start going around to content creators who look like me and start asking the question. This was left down in the comment section of one of my mutuals. Beautiful, smart, and intelligent black woman. Never mind the facts that she's bringing to this conversation, the receipts that she's bringing to this conversation, her education, her experience, her overall knowledge. Never mind any of that. Did you take money from the Democratic National Party? With that said, I'm going to end this video as I started. I have armored up. I have charged up my block button. If you get down in my comment section attempting to insult my intelligence with this question, attempting to question my character and my morality, if you get down in my comment section asking me this question, I will block you. No need to respond. You're not worth the breath that it takes to respond. And that's on period.
Now that it's been almost 2 weeks, I wanted to take a minute to talk about the KEPE.PLE situation, and I think it's really important for us all to understand exactly what happened here. On February 11th, a popular YouTuber named KEPE.PLE, who also has a pretty significant following here on TikTok, made a video about me. Kat starts her video 49 seconds in by saying that I had spent the election cycle, quote, rallying against people voting for their access to care, end quote. At 9 minutes and 11 seconds into her video, Kat said, quote, you were telling us not to vote a certain way. You were telling us to sacrifice ourselves. That's what you were asking us to do, end quote. The caption on Kat's video said, we are not wrong for wanting to protect our access to care that keeps us alive. Hashtag Madeline Pendleton. And the title of Kat's video was Madeline Pendleton's I'm Literally Trans comments. Kat's videos seem to presuppose that I spent the election cycle on the internet telling people how to vote, shaming people for not voting Democrat, and generally trying to sway the results of the election. The problem with this is that it's not true. So, why does Kat believe that I spent the entire election cycle trying to tell people not to vote for Kamala Harris? Well, ever since I joined this app 5 years ago, I've been a pretty outspoken communist. Leading up to the election, somebody asked me how I was planning on voting as a communist living in California. Now, many communists do not believe in electoral politics because we do not believe it is a path to liberation. While I don't believe you can vote your way out of capitalism, I still do vote, and I have in every election since 2005, including local and interim. I responded to this person in a video and said that I would be voting for a socialist candidate this election cycle. I said in my video it was an easy decision for me to make as a Californian. First of all, because of the unfair nature of the Electoral College, our votes matter a quarter as much as the votes of somebody from Wyoming. Our state also has reliably gone blue in the Electoral College every single presidential election that I've been alive. And on top of that, the election results are usually called before our votes are counted and often before our polling places even close. 2024 was no exception. The election results were called while Californians were still waiting in line to vote. Because of this, I decided to use this election cycle to work towards the third-party initiative to secure 5% of the popular vote, which would grant third parties access to things like ballot protection or funding. I made this video discussing my personal voting choices for this election cycle, and I said I was not going to shame anybody, obviously, for how they chose to vote. I understand why people vote Democrat, and I myself have voted Democrat in the past, but I wasn't going to do it this time. Some people were upset with this, but generally it wasn't considered very controversial, especially for people who'd followed me for a while or knew my content. I don't think most people expect communists to vote for Democrats. It's an opposing ideology at its core. However, all of this changed a few days later when I made a video saying that the Democratic Party had reached out to me and offered to pay me over $10,000 to make videos about how awesome they were leading up to the election. I turned it down because I'm not a Democrat, but I noticed that some people I followed had been performing to those pitch briefs without disclosing that it was paid ad content. I didn't name names, but I said, you guys as consumers of media should be aware that some of the stuff you think is organic political content from your favorite creators might be undisclosed paid ads. In that video, I again reiterated, I'm not here to shame how anybody chooses to vote. I understand it's a difficult decision. I just want you to be aware that you might be consuming ads. After the election, a number of really respected news sources, including the Washington Post, came out with stories confirming that this type of behavior had been going on, that influencers were accepting what they called the new dark money to do undisclosed paid ads for politicians leading up to the election. However, this did not stop. A few days later, a number of high-profile content creators with explicit ties to the Democratic Party from making videos trying to claim that I was a liar. In order to make these claims, they spread a lot of misinformation about me, and even went so far as to claim that I was a bigot. That one came from the fact that I once said Democrats were deeply evil people committing genocide, and someone said 92% of black women were Democrats, therefore I thought black women were deeply evil. Despite the fact that I was voting for a black woman, just Claudia Dale Cruz, not Kamala Harris. These videos debunking my claims went viral, and I was a trending hashtag for days on this app, wherein people had full debates and conversations and discourse about things I never said, beliefs I didn't have, and events that never happened. Honestly, it was pretty surreal. Up to this point, I had been under the impression that people were fundamentally intelligent and rational. If you presented them with information and evidence, they would make good decisions. Yeah, I don't believe that anymore after that experience. When I asked people how they believed these things were true without any evidence of them occurring, I was pretty shocked to discover that rather than admit that maybe they fell for misinfo, people doubled down on conspiratorial lines of thinking. Whole narratives emerged that I was making secret videos wherein I was saying evil things that were the opposite of all the videos that were still up on my page. Whole comment threads of me being secretly bad that were all somehow suddenly deleted, so there was no evidence of them occurring. It was pretty shocking to see that people were willing to believe such extreme, odd stuff. After the election results were announced, thousands of angry people came to my page blaming me directly for swaying the results of the election. In doing so, people continued to repeat weird misinformation, like I was telling people how to vote. I was trying to convince people not to vote for Kamala Harris. This was all my fault. Some claimed that I wasn't voting, or I was convincing people not to vote. None of it was grounded in reality, because the reality was actually pretty boring and not that sensational at all. A socialist in California voted for a socialist and said, hey, I get why you guys might not want to. This is just what I'm doing. One of the thousands of people who came to my page trying to shame me for how I voted in this election was a cisgender white woman with blue hearts in her name, which I can only assume means that she's a vote blue no matter who Democrat. She came to my page and called me a cisgender woman and said that I didn't vote for Kamala Harris because I didn't care about trans people or Palestinians. I responded to her, correcting her, and said, I am literally trans and I have Palestinian family. Because as I've said before, you don't get to call me a woman and misgender me and make up lies about me just because I didn't vote Democrat. That's not okay. You don't get to call me a woman because I'm a socialist. Sorry. This was on my own page in a comment thread on my own videos where I was simply correcting a woman for misgendering me. However, it didn't stop a number of small content creators with roughly 100 followers or less from replying to that comment with some kind of upsetting trans medicalist takes, basically saying that I was not actually transgender because I had not medically transitioned. This spawned discourse wherein people replied and said, well, no, Madeline is transgender, but yeah, they haven't medically transitioned, so obviously their experiences in the world are different than those of someone who has. And then people saw that and said, well, why is Madeline inserting themselves into conversations about transgender rights and access to medical health care anyway? And a new story emerged wherein I was in other people's comment sections talking over them about how I was trans and my experience as a trans person made it okay for me to tell them how to vote. Never happened. None of that ever happened. This, though, is where Kat comes in. I can only assume Kat saw some of these misinformation videos and responded, and in doing so, repeated things about me as though they were fact without bothering to check to see if they had ever actually occurred. Kat's video presupposed that I was telling people I was literally trans in order to try to convince them that my personal electoral politics were the only valid way to go. Kat presupposed that I had spent the entire election cycle telling people how to vote when I had not. My page was flooded with even more people demanding me to take accountability for the things that had not occurred. And those people who came to my page flooding it, demanding accountability, were mostly white cisgender Democrats. Kat herself does not identify as a Democrat. And I made a video saying I did not want to fight with Kat, so I would not be responding to her. But I would clarify my own positions and actual beliefs, which I did. Kat then came into my comment section and clarified that she just wished I'd had more empathy for people who had voted for Kamala Harris. I told her I did have empathy for people who voted for Kamala Harris and had made a number of videos saying that and had never told anybody how to vote. I then DM'd her and said maybe our followers are twisting our words around and maybe we could talk about it directly. But from there, Kat blocked me, and from what I've heard, she's made a number of other videos about me since. Meanwhile, my comment section continued to be full of Democrats who were trying to pit me and Kat against each other for their own political gain, which frankly upset me quite a bit. I said in multiple lives that I did not like the fact that they were tokenizing Kat to try to make a statement absolving themselves of critique for their own politics, and that I similarly would not want to be tokenized to make a political statement for someone else's politics either. I said that Democrats were trying to send her to me like some sort of identity politics final boss, which in previous lives I had said was really insulting because it was really dehumanizing to everybody involved. It made me think that these people don't actually care about trans lives or trans rights. They just want to dunk on socialists. I referenced a meme to talk about how I didn't like Democrats doing this, and from there, that live was clipped and taken out of context, and people had decided I was the one dehumanizing Kat by complaining about what I thought Democrats were doing. It was, frankly, a mess. A mess of telephone and a mess of misinformation. Now, if you follow me, you know that I am not a discourse channel. I don't like to argue with people. I don't bring up other content creators' names unless they say something about me and I feel obligated to defend myself. But I frankly don't want to defend myself. So I've been talking for a week with lots of people with PR and media experience about the best way to handle these situations. And the general consensus I've received is to not let misinformation spread. That realistically, I should start deleting comments and blocking people more. And that I should gray rock people who attempt to bait me into conflict online. So going forward, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not here to fight with anybody. I'm just here to teach people about propaganda and Western imperialism. Don't get mad at Kat either. She is frankly just one of thousands of people who fell for misinfo about me, and it could happen to anyone. But we should probably all try to be more vigilant about evil.
Man, shut the fuck up, ho. Listen, I'm gonna be real with y'all because I feel like there's a lack of just being real with this medicine ass hoe, okay? And I'll be clear, it's not the ideology, it's not the theory I disagree with, okay? I just don't like you, ho. And I feel like when people can't say that, I'll say it. I just don't like you. I find you to be manipulative and a lying ass hoe. Because you lie and manipulate, and you lie in the same sentence. For example, in this video, you saying derogatory things, degrading things about Democrats in the same breath. It's like you'd be like, oh, I'm not trying to shame anybody. Yes, you is. Like when I shame Democrats, when I shame people, I just say that's what it is. I'm not a pussy ass hoe. Like that's what I don't like about you. You lie a lot. Like just say you shaming them. And why are you so scared to say you shaming people? Just say like, yes, I shamed you. Because what did Marx say? Shame is what? A revolution in itself. So like, why are you trying to play yourself? Just say what it is. You're trying to shame them, and you should just sit on that. You the type of bitch that lied to the degree where you would put something up, be like the cat jumped through the hole, and everybody looking, and I'm seeing it, and I'm like, this is a fucking dog. But you will say it in a way so convincing, by the way, right, to make people think that's a fucking cat, and I can see it's a fucking dog. Like I said in the same sentence, you saying you're not doing something when it is, you just did it. And like even with the whole being racist and shit like that, and like, oh, you need to be real about the shit. If you're a class reductionist, stand in this shit. Say I don't give a fuck about no race shit. Okay? Be a Fred Hampton asshole. Bitch, you won't take them bullets though. Be a Fred Hampton asshole. Go hang out with the KKK. The thing that makes you dangerous though is you are not self-aware in any way, in any regard, okay? To your body, you don't embody the principles at all. And the fact that you don't will make you dangerous hanging out with the KKK to say, let's go have a meeting, okay? Because you will end up with a cape. You will end up with a cape over your head, okay? You will end up siding. You will go with the KKK. You won't tell the KKK. That's what it is. That's what makes you dangerous, okay? And even with the no Nazi coming in your camp and stuff like that, and you're not being self-aware, that lets me know your revolution has no evolution. You don't, okay? Because Marx and Lenin did all that shit, okay? It didn't include niggas, ho, okay? It didn't include niggas, okay? So that's what I'm saying. You don't have the principle. You don't have the theory with niggas involved. And that's what's making it very difficult, okay? That's what's making it very difficult. Aside from the fact that you a lying asshole and pussy ass bitch, because you won't stand in your shit. Like when you do the shit, you need to stand in it. So this is exactly what I was doing. I was antagonizing, okay? And you know the antagonizing principle. Just say you're being antagonistic, okay? And you know that's a play. So say that shit. Say I was antagonizing, okay? I'm an accelerant. Say all the shit, okay? And be real with it. I promise you, people will take you more serious. You'll have less of this shit. You just be real with yourself and say exactly what it is that you is and what it is that you're doing instead of saying the opposite. It ain't opposite day, huh? You're making my job hard because you're giving them that whatever reality that might come in the future. These are the type of people that you're gonna have to deal with at the end of the day. You're gonna have to deal with people that just don't know how to tell the fucking truth. That just be lying. You talking about, oh, it's misinformation. You know, this misinformation, this disinformation, and you give disinformation in your very own words, your own video, just be contradicting yourself back and forth. I just be listening, going like this. Is this two people fucking talking back and forth? Because this post is saying two different things, and that's what I mean. Like you live in the reality that's not even the reality too. Because I see you even on them the Nazi X. Somebody put a video in the Nazi X app. You on there threatening, saying you want to fight black women in the streets in a police state. How you think that's gonna end up, babe? Who gonna go to jail? Who you think gonna go to jail? The black lady. You know that shit. So you wanna fight the black lady in the street, somebody gonna call the police. Who gonna go to jail? That black lady, and your ass gonna be crying on there. And y'all know what you trying to say. You trying to fight anybody, trying to fight a black lady at the end of the day with them baby bags. Because whoever the fuck it is, I promise you, them baby bags get pushed the fuck back neonatal on your ass. So like, why are you even testing the waters and like playing? That's what I'm saying. You perpetrate, and that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. I feel like you're a perpetrating, manipulated asshole, and your revolution that has no evolution. You don't embody the principle in your body. You're not self-aware at all. You lie. You lie la in the same sentence, in the same breath. And that's what I'm trying to say at the end of the day. Ain't got nothing to do with the ideology, ain't got nothing to do with the theory. You just a lying ass pussy ass bitch, and that's what I can't stand. And I've heard other anarchists and socialists and communists and all of them say the same goddamn thing, but you still in your video talking about it's the Democrats coming at me. We coming at you too, ho, and we really want you to shut the fuck up, to be real with you. And I know why you don't want to mention any of us other leftists like critiquing you and stuff like that, because you know that's one of the other core principles is to constantly critique, constantly take critique. Okay, so come stand in this middle of the re-education camp right now. You taking a critique, and you can't not talking about the fact that we also critiquing you. We're critiquing you being a lying ass pussy ass bitch. Okay, and I want you to just learn to stand in your shit, and maybe you could just resolve all this shit if you learn to stand in it. And you're not able to do that because you're still trying to save brand or save face. I don't know which one it is. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm pretty sure it's the brand because it's got the money involved. That's what I mean. You speak the theory, you talk it, you regurgitate it, but you don't embody this shit. You don't embody it. Okay, it don't hit you in your chest and your nervous system to know it. Okay, no, you got to just constantly just run away. Your video, you're still talking about misinformation, the misinformation, the Democrats, when it's us leftists, like I said too. But you'll go in the comments, secret sideways, okay? And somebody mentioned the shit that you said about Cat, okay, with the whole amputee shit, and you will admit, yeah, that was a little bit far. You said that in your comments. You said true, fair. That's fair. Make the video. So I would just say my suggestion is to make the video and talk about how, yeah, that's fair to say that was fucked up, babe. Okay, make that video and say, and don't say, oh, the Democrats sent her, because she is a self-agent black woman in this world. She is a free ass Negro. Okay, she's a free ass Negro. She's a free ass black woman in this world to sit up and make her video and say what the fuck she got to say to you. That's what I'm saying. That slave master shit is still inside of you. Slave master shit is still inside of you. That's what I'm saying. Thinking to yourself that a black woman can't just free ass Negro say what the fuck she want to say to you. Say to you that in your head you just convinced that somebody grabbed her chain and yanked her to come to you. They didn't. Okay, she a free ass Negro and she said what she had to say to you, and stand on the fact that you was wrong to say that stupid ass shit about the amputee shit. What the fuck you do? Okay, if you want to do your little classroom lessons, do your little classroom lessons and shit like that. Okay, because that's all it is. At the end of the day, you just regurgitating shit. You just regurgitating shit that other people done said. You have no evolution. Like I said to your revolution, I will say it over and over again. You have no evolution to your revolution. Your revolution has no evolution. And like I said, it's not the ideology I disagree with. It's your character, how? Because you lie a lot, you manipulative. It's your character. And I'll be honest with you, I would much rather deal with somebody changing their ideology than somebody trying to change their character. Okay, that's a hard ass thing. That's a hard ass thing to fucking change. I would rather deal with somebody that has a different ideology and work with that. But your character is what I fucking can't stand. Because like I said, you're a manipulative, lying ass hoe, and I don't like that shit. Okay, have a nice day, and stop politicking in the parking lot. Okay, if you want to go outside and fight black women, just know the block is hot. I don't care if it's left, right, anywhere. The block is still hot. To see a white woman fighting a black lady in the street, you best believe, like I said, that baby bangs pushed all the way back, neonatal in it is. Okay, I will end this video. Once again, I want people to know, just be real with your shit. Stop being a pussy ass hoe. When you shaming people, say, yes, I'm shaming you. If you being racist, like, yeah, I was being fucking racist and shit. I'm a class production, I don't give a fuck. And like, stand in that shit. Okay, and see how that shit go. You can't. I know you can't, because you know you're going to end up with the hood over your head. You're going to hit the hood over your head. You're just going to cover up after whoever black lady you fight in the street. Push them baby bangs, like I said, neonatal on your head.
Page and nurse, fuck around and find out the neonatal unit, please.
So sometimes, some, painkiller people often call out people that is like be asking them, why is it that you do not want to give us chance? You do not want to like roll with us? Like, why are you so distant? Like, why can't you just come together, for a common goal and all of that? And people that looks like me keep on distancing themselves because these are the kind of people that cannot be trusted. So I am saying this relating to this pan-colored woman. I can vividly remember I used to, see her on my For You. Sometimes I see her stitches, I just stitch and all of that. So this woman, sometimes, she talk about how, supportive she is to people that looks like me, this type of, pan-colored women that is all out, speaking for people that looks like me, and, speaking for black people. We are all for equality. We are all fighting on the same cause. She's among this LGBTQ thing, so she's also in that oppressing saga, even if not really, So because of that, and the way at which people that look like me are not judgmental, no matter who you are and all of that, she decided like, oh, she's out here speaking for people that lose all the oppressed group and all of that, until this election thing and the decision began. There is one thing about this past election and all of that. It's really opened the eyes of people that looks like me. People that looks like me are sometimes they think that, oh, these people, they understand where they're coming from. They are out here to help. They're out here to like, okay, let's just see if we can stick together and work things out. But this election decided to reveal so many things. Decided to tell people that looks like me that you are still not supposed to trust people like this. Because so many people who are out there about minority group, about standing for fairness and equality and all of that. All of a sudden, at the cost of this election, they decided to show themselves. But black people were still standing on business. So this lady, I saw that video during their campaign. She was like, oh my God, some people actually paid some people to endorse some particular, candidate and all of that. An election, I think that is even legit. You can do that, as part of election. But the thing is that just making it look like some people that looks like me were actually, they were actually standing on their feet that, oh, we think we need to do this because of the amount that they collect from these people. Without her realizing that people that look like me has actually made their own research. People that look like me have actually weighed the option. They never said that these two people are like the other one that they were choosing was just so that is just the best they can go for. But they say that when you are faced with two evil, you have to make your own research. You have to try to weigh your options to see the one that you can actually cope with, to see the one that is lesser, to see the one that, like, I'm so surprised that some of these people actually thought that people that look like me were all chosen to vote the way that they want to vote for because of the monetary aspect involved. Like, oh my goodness. Everything is not all about what they actually think. They did their own due diligence. They made their research. They knew that deep inside of them, when they go for this might turn out the way that things are turning out right now. And they were like, okay, when they go towards this, it might not really turn out the way it is, but it might be something that is manageable compared to how it is right now. Forget about all of these people trying to claim that, oh, they still, what they are doing. They actually know they are still suffering. It's deep inside of them. Sometimes when I see some of these migrant supporters all out, defending and trying to, like, I know that at a point in their life, before they sleep, they have to think things through and know that, oh, I have really effed around. So this lady was like, oh, she voted for third party and all of that. To what end and what did you now bring? Like, I see her as someone that instead of her to actually go or vote the way at which people that looks like me have voted for, it's better for her to actually vote for third party. This is the kind of person, this is what I see here. Like, instead of her, she's so anti or whatsoever she is, but she just don't want to offend anyone, and now she just voted the way at which she feels that, which everyone is just seeing the repercussion, which everyone is seeing the effing around and finding out. You claim to be among the oppressed group. Oh my God, LGBTQ. Oh my God, black people. When that time comes for you to actually show your solidarity, that is when you are, oh my God, you show yourself. That is when you show the real person that you are. And most people complain people are complaining that people that look like me, especially black women, are actually standing on business and deciding to focus more on themselves. Like, seriously, how ironical. What do you, like, you cannot just bite your cake and have it. You can't keep on doing this to people that look like me and they keep on forgiving and, oh, okay, let's just keep on continuing. No, at the time they get fed up and, decided to focus more on themselves. These are people that have actually overcome oppression. These are people that have gone through chattel slavery. You think that they can never overcome any other thing that comes in picture? Okay. The data page of most of these police people that has so many bad records have been deleted. And, people are, oh my God, black people will still survive. They have been enduring stuff like this for decades. It is only you people who has not really faced what they have faced that might come out and start complaining and start crying. That's why I see people that look like me have not been crying for a long time. They have not been, having emotional breakdown because they are used to it. That sometimes you keep on oppressing someone, this person becomes so immune to oppression. Like, when you oppress me, I use the oppression to shine. That is black people right now. Anyway, lovely listener, just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So guys, if you've not subscribed to this channel, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button, like, and I will see you lovely when I upload the next one.